It is time to do some mental math. Because if you take one hurricane and add 20 years to everything it succeeded to subtract, the response should realistically have the equation looking a little bit different. It should be evident that we have taken the sum of what we have been given and managed to devise more than a handful of solutions. Have we kept asking ourselves this question? How well are we keeping score? Before 2004, I never realized I had a reason to fear this thing called hurricane season. I was 8 years old the day that the world named Hurricane Ivan, but it only took a brush with the tendrils of Category 1 to shatter the illusion of the harmless storm, and my island was one of the lucky ones. Score, as in a number used to measure quality. I was too young to understand what it meant when the news reporter said that Hurricane Ivan had reached Category 3, but to this day, I will always remember the images on my TV, the footage from flyovers of Grenada, dirty water and debris as far as the cameras could see. I couldn't fathom that the same storm that had barely bent my neighbor's palm tree had stolen the homes of so many families and the livelihoods of an entire country. Ivan's flavor of fury swept the spice from the spice aisle. And while we watched aid and rescue efforts, he kept building in intensity. A few days more and he was a Category 4, knocking on Jamaica's door. He still had more in store after all the damage he had already caused, and I didn't need a degree in arithmetic to work out that if 3 was already so catastrophic, the havoc 4 could wreak would do scarier things to top it. The same tendrils that tickled Barbados brushed Jamaica's south coast with more vim and vengeance, taking 17 lives with a mere cameo appearance. Our region was in the middle of an uncertain circumstance. We weren't equipped to survive because by the time Ivan found his feet on land again in Cayman, he had peaked for a 3rd time at Category 5. And after all the destruction he had already left behind, I couldn't work out how at such strengths he would leave anyone alive. He took light and life alike. Created sea surges 3, 4, 5 times my height, minute after minute. The infrastructural casualties multiplied, gave no reprieve even when he blinked his eye, and even after he had hit and run, it took months for Cayman to breathe a relieved sigh. Here's an aside. There is something special about the things that are born out of tragedy, conceived by natural disasters and birthed by necessity. That is why when the storm subsides and the winds die down, we lift our eyes to the skies for clarity, because we just know that after the tumult of the hurricane, we will find a rainbow's beauty. Criff was Ivan's rainbow baby, conceived and born, ready to lead, not only the first of its kind, but simply exemplary, rolling up its sleeves and showing our mettle, transforming what we learned to make risk insurance more accessible, to make each member more capable, more resilient. Knowing that in each case it might look just a little bit different, we have learned that it takes a community to nurture an infant initiative into a regional movement. We have made each government its own agent of change, armed agencies with the power to drive resilience forward, taken the aftermath of the region's worst hurricanes and gained insight in how we build back better score. As in 20 years of honoring our promise to be the shining example for global best practice, for small island nations' resilience to risk. This is Ivan, plus 20. And I wonder what is in store for the next chapters of our story. I hope, as the tides beat the rhythm of change on our shores, the soundtrack that underscores is a chorus of countries working together to imagine and ensure a future that every single day is more resilient than the day before.